I wanted to quickly go through our new goal setting planner and talk about the different features throughout. So if you open it up, you'll see that we have it all laid out with the 3 different steps of goal setting, with reflection, and which is designated with an R, projection with a P, action with an A, plus there are monthly checkpoints and quarterly checkpoints. So let's go ahead and dive in. I always say that anytime we're setting goals, we need to start by looking backwards so we can move forward. So we start with reflection. And there's a lot of questions here to help you dive deeper into the past 12 months, what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, what do you want to work on. This is just a really good way to start getting into that idea of what goals do you think you want to set. And then we have a calendar year overview. And a great thing to do is to look at last year's planner to review how the last 12 months went. And then thinking about those 3 areas of our life of personal, work, and home, giving each a rating for each month and maybe giving yourself a couple of notes about why it felt really good or why it wasn't so good. Really digging in and reviewing how last year went for you. And there's going to be some points in your year, unfortunately for all of us, that were not quite so positive. So the following page is a shifting perspective activity to help you shift the way that you look at some of those negative things that have happened. How can we reframe those? How can we use those as springboards to help move us forward and get us closer to our big goals? So that's on the following page. And then the last page we have for reflection is your life wheel, where I want you to fill in on a scale of 1 to 10 how you felt about the different areas of your life: health and fitness, friends and family, spirituality and purpose, fun and recreation, and so on. Now, what we're looking here is we don't want a perfect circle. We shouldn't have everything be perfectly even. There's going to be some that we're doing better in and some that we're not quite doing as well in, and that's absolutely normal. That's really what we want. There's going to be times where we're leaning a little bit more into a priority or into a different area in our life, and then we're going to counterbalance and shift and lean into another area. So we're never going to have a perfect circle here. And it's never going to be all 10s. No matter who you are or what you're doing, you were never going to have a perfect circle. And that's okay. This is just a really good place to check in and see, you know what? I feel like with my finances, I only have a 3, but health and fitness, I have an 8. I probably want to spend a little time focusing on finances in that case. It's just a great way to check in. And what's nice about the life wheel is that we check in with this every quarter. So then we can start to see how that wheel shifts and grows. What we're looking for with a nice healthy life wheel is that there are some things, some areas where we're leaning a little more heavily and some that are a little bit lighter, but we shouldn't see things that are a big discrepancy, like a 9 in one area and a 1 in another area. So we want to think about that with our life wheel. Then we move on to projection. So we've looked backwards and now it's time to move forward. So thinking about yourself a year from now, where do you want to be? How are you in your personal, your work, and your home areas of your life? And so there's a set of questions to help you go a little bit deeper into each of these in thinking about what goals you really want to set for yourself. And then we ask you, what is your ideal version of yourself 1 year from today? And then continuing with projection, we have a goal brainstorming area for 3 different areas of your life: of satisfaction, the activities and the things that really make you feel satisfied, like your best self; connection, the activities and things that make you feel connected to others; and exploration, the activities and things that make you feel like an explorer. So learning new things, taking classes, having some creativity in your life. So use these as a way to start brainstorming. I find that oftentimes when it's a big blank page, it can be a little bit overwhelming and a little daunting to say, okay, let's figure out what your goals are, blank page. So by categorizing them into satisfaction, connection, and exploration, it gives you a little bit of structure and helps you think a little bit deeper in those areas. And then we have our goal vision board. Now, I know a lot of you really love to have a visualization of what you want life to look like, let's say a year from now or 6 months from now. This is a great place to post things that you find in, magazines or online and print them out, or to do some word art, or to find pictures in magazines of things that are aspirational. So this is a place for you to be really, really creative and think about the things that you really want, to dream about your future. And then this is our goal setting matrix. I love this page because this is my way of looking at the entire year and making sure that when I'm setting goals for myself, that I'm not overloading myself. One of the things I find is that a lot of people get fired up and excited about goals in January. So they cram a lot of their goals in January, and then things don't really work out because they've overloaded their plates. And in April, they don't have any goals. So by kind of taking the time to map out when you want to try to accomplish different goals or when you want to go after different areas in your life, that can really make a difference. So let's say, for example, you want to run a marathon in September. You can back this up and start working on this goal all the way back in May. So now if you're running a marathon in September, you might not want to set a really heavy duty work goal in September or a home goal in September. You might want that to be your main goal. This is a good way of having some checks and balances in your life to make sure you're not overloading your plate at any one time of the year. Now, when I fill this out myself, I like to fill it out in pencil and I project where I think I want to start on different goals in the different areas of my life. I do it in pencil very intentionally because life happens. Life can happen and things will change. And so you want to be able to shift and move things around. But really, the whole purpose of this is to help us make sure that we're checking in on a regular basis and not putting too much on our plate. We'll come back to this when we're doing our quarterly check-ins. And then we get into the action section, which you can see is designated by the A. So we have goals where you can set your goal, and we walk through the entire goal setting process because it's not enough to just set goals. We want to achieve our goals. So one of the things that a lot of people make the mistake of doing is they don't write their goals correctly. So we walk through that whole process of how to really write a goal so it's achievable and that you can actually accomplish it. So we go through that process here, and I even have a little cheat here on the opposite page showing you how a goal is filled out. And on the back of each of these goal sheets is your action roadmap. Here's your plan for how you're going to achieve the goal. We write out the goal, we talk about the steps needed to accomplish it, then we group our goal into mini deadlines or little mini milestones, and we make measurements for our progress, setting deadlines for success, how we're going to find accountability, commitment, setting that deadline, and planning out for a reward. Now, one of the reasons why we made this, so the goal is on one side and the action roadmap is on the back, is that then you can remove it, put it in your planner, you can pop it wherever you want. You can move it over to the monthly section if you want to. That's one of the things I love to do is I love to take my goal, I like to take it out, I like to be able to post it somewhere where I can see it, and then I pop it back into my goal setting planner. That's one of the real benefits of having the disc system. So you can see there is space here for 12 goals. Now, last year we had fewer goal sheets, and we heard from many of you that you really wanted 12 or more. And so we went ahead and we added in a couple extra goal sheets. We wanted to keep the goal setting planner about the same length, so we did a few things to change that up. One of the things that we did was we changed the checkpoints for each month. So there used to be a whole solid page with the word January on it, and we utilized that instead as checkpoints. So you can see you have room here to do 12 different goals, and then we get to our monthly checkpoints. So each month of the year, we have a checkpoint. So this is where we're going to sit down and make a plan. What do you want to work on for this month to get closer to your goals? What do you want to focus on? Go back and look at your action roadmap. Use that as your springboard for filling in this checkpoint of what you want to accomplish for this month. And then we walk through what's one monthly accomplishment that would make you feel proud? What are 2 weekly goals you can prioritize? And in thinking about that, what are 3 daily habits that will move you forward? And we have habit trackers in here to help you stay on track with that. And then every month, at the end of the month, we have a download where you walk through your accomplishments, things you're grateful for, how you felt. And then we have a section for notes. And then we get to the next month. So here's February. The months are similar in that they all have a checkpoint, they all have a focus page, and they have a download. And then we get to each quarter. So here we are at the end of March in quarter 1. So here's a quarterly checkpoint. Now, remember I said back here when we were on that goal setting matrix page, every quarter I like to sit down and really map out which area of my life I want to lean into a little bit more. Which area do I want to prioritize? And so I make sure when I'm doing these quarterly checkpoints that I'm looking here at this matrix. What do I want to focus in on? What do I need to shift around so I can really focus on that area of my life at that time? So that's one of the reasons why this is so beneficial. So with our quarterly checkpoint, we check in with how you're doing. Then we do a goal adjustment because many times our goals need a little bit of shifting around. We need to reframe them. Maybe we need to change the deadline because something has happened in our life or things have changed. Here's a spot to do your goal adjustment. And then here's that life wheel again. So every quarter we check in with your life wheel to see how your life is shifting. If finances have been, were one of those things we talked about at the beginning that wasn't going well, maybe you've leaned more into that area. How are you doing now with finances? Again, not ever looking for a perfect circle here, really just looking for growth. And then each quarter, we have a different page for this final page of the quarterly check-in. So during quarter one, this is Get Motivated Matrix. So it's a little blueprint to help you get motivated. I find that many times people start the beginning of the year feeling really excited about their goals, and then things kind of, peter off a little bit. This is a great time to check in, get yourself motivated, get yourself fired up for the next quarter of the year. And then we get into Q2. So you can see here's April and May, and I'm just gonna flip really quickly through the planner. So we get to checkpoint 2 for our Q2. So our second quarter is of course in June. And again, we have the checkpoint, we have a goal adjustment page and a life wheel. And in this quarter, we do an evaluation of your time. Are there things that you maybe need to quit or to uncommit to in order to make time for your goals? So that's quarter 2. And then let's move forward to the third quarter. And we have again the checkpoint, the goal adjustment, the life wheel check-in. And then this quarter, we have the Finding Your Yes blueprint. This is a great blueprint to use when you're looking at opportunities or goals you might want to go after to figure out really if this is a yes or a no. It's not as simple as just saying no to everything. We really want to find your yes, the yeses that really get you fired up, the yeses that are going to drive you closer to that ideal life. So this is a blueprint to walk you through doing just that. And then we're going to continue on through October, November, until we get to December, which of course is our fourth quarter. So again, we have our quarterly checkpoints, a goal adjustment, and your life wheel as always. And then we have a Managing Your Fear blueprint. So really walking through what are some of the things that maybe have frightened you? What are the things that you feel are big risks that maybe you want to go after? How can we manage that fear, especially going into the following year? How can we manage that so that we can go after some of our bigger dreams and goals? And then to close out our year, we have a year-end review. This is a great chance to check in on your accomplishments, the things that have gone really well this year, what things you've solved, what problems, the biggest lessons you've learned. This almost acts as a springboard for your reflection for the following year. So it's really nice to end your year with a little bit of review. We also include a section so you can review all the goals you set for yourself. You can see there's 12 of them here, where you can write out your goals, whether you accomplished it or didn't accomplish it. And then we ask a question about if you did, how did you celebrate? And if you didn't, what went wrong? How can we adjust this? How can we change this up? So maybe this is a goal we can go after again at another day. But this is a great all at a glance type of view of how you did with your goals for the year. And then our final page is a little bucket list, a running list of ideas and dreams for the coming year. So that way, when you're getting ready for the following year, you already have a little water in your well, a little place to get you started. So this is a great place to start dreaming and thinking ahead for the year to come. Now, all of this that I've gone over with the goal setting planner, all of this is included with our goal setting planner. If you want to go deeper with your goal setting, I actually am going to be offering a course. And I'll be announcing more information about that this fall. But I will have a course where we will dive even deeper into all of the pages of the goal setting planner. We'll have a pop-up Facebook group where we can encourage and support one another. I'm really excited because I'm already starting to map out everything that we're going to be doing. And I know that last year when I offered a pop-up goal setting group and some goal setting advice and encouragement in a group setting, it was an amazing, incredible event. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that again this year. We'll have more information this fall about that, but look for that goal setting course to take place around the first week of January, right as we start off that new year. All right, if you have any questions about the goal setting planner or any of the other planners we offer at inkWELL Press, feel free to email us at hello@inkwellpress.com.